Okay guys, welcome back to the last lesson in our set on angles between parallel lines, where in this video we're going to be completing our toolkit by adding corresponding angles to it. Now, corresponding angles will, for a lot of people, can be the most difficult to spot. The pattern is more complex than the other two, but in a lot of ways these can be the most powerful. The pattern that we're looking for here, I'm going to give the example on this diagram, is an F. And the angles that are formed by our F are equal to each other. Now, sometimes the F might be upside down, or it might be backwards, or it may even be backwards and upside down. But anywhere that we can form this F pattern with two parallel lines, the two angles inside the F will always be equal. Right? Now our toolkit is complete. We can actually finish off this example we've been working on. So in our last two videos we learned that C was 60 degrees and B was 120. And now we can figure out A by looking at this F pattern that we can make here. Now, because what we just learnt up here tells us that these two angles are equal, we don't even have to do any calculations here. We can just write down that A equals 120. And the reason is that they are corresponding angles. Alright, let's look at one more example. I would like you guys to have a go at this before I solve it for you. Remember, sometimes we need to employ two different tools from our toolkit. Alright, hopefully you've had an attempt at solving this one yourself. I'm going to show you how to do it now. The first tool we're going to pull out of our toolkit is that when we have a straight line, the two angles add up to 180 degrees. So the size of this angle in here is going to be 180 minus 65, or 115 degrees. Now, if we bring out our F pattern again, we can realize that this angle here and this angle here are exactly equal. So we can just write down A equals 115 degrees. We don't need to do any maths to that particular angle. Right, and now we're finished. We have completed our toolkit. We have corresponding angles, our F shape. We have alternate angles, our Z shape. And remember, these two are equal. And we have co-interior angles, which is our C shape. Remember, in these angles, we add to 180. Bit different to the first two cases because these two angles aren't equal, but they add to 180. And now if we put those three tools together with the tools we already learnt, vertically opposite angles being equal, and straight line angles adding to 180, we should be able to solve a whole different range of problems finding unknown angles between parallel lines. And you're going to have some questions to do now that will focus particularly on corresponding, and then if we get to it, we'll do a lesson after this one where you will have to put all of these 5 skills together. So yeah, you can get started on that. Thanks, guys.